It is a goal of our administration to lower the speed limit across the city to 20 miles an hour. That, however, is something that can only be done with a local law change to the city administrative code. And we do support the city council taking those efforts.
Just so I understand, you need a home rule message from the city council, and then you have to have Albany pass it, or can you do it just by the city council?
Just by the city council is my
And
understanding.
will you be asking the city council to do that?
We do support that, yes.
All right, so that was New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. His latest initiative is to interfere with the efficiency of the operation of your car. Far left liberals, communists like Zohran Mamdani, they do not like the autonomy represented by the motor-driven vehicle. You can actually get in your car right now if you live here in Baltimore, and you can travel all the way to Los Angeles. You don't have to go through any border crossings. You don't have to show any papers or anything like that. You can just do it. All right. And that modicum of freedom really sticks in the craw of people like Zohran Mamdani. So he wants to lower the speed limit to 20 miles per hour, which I'm going to show you is a solution in search of a problem. But he's going to use that to extract more money out of the pockets of New Yorkers and unsuspecting people who travel to the city of New York and dare rent a car, because most of them won't know that the speed limit is only 20 miles per hour. Now, the reality of it is, and when you look deeper into this, New York City, and this is why I say it's a solution in search of a problem, because the average overall speed of traffic in New York at any given time is 11.8 miles per hour. Okay? That's almost half of what they want the speed limit to be. But you do have to understand that at night, this probably improves in terms of the speed. The average speed goes up a little bit. And there will be times in different areas of New York where you will be able to hit more than 20 miles per hour. So if you're doing 25 miles per hour, for example, then that's when Mamdani's plan goes into action. And I'd like to see the fines associated with speeding after he passes this bill, and he will get it. Okay. Now, during rush hour, it goes from roughly 12 miles per hour to around 10 miles per hour. You've been to New York. Maybe you have. If you have not, then look at some footage of rush hour. It's out there, and you can see how slow the traffic travels. So this is a way for them to really, and who's going to be hit by this, right? It's going to be working class people. Okay. Uber drivers, taxi cabs, folk just going to and from work. I'm sure city vehicles will be exempted, right? But if you're in your own vehicle traveling to do work for the city, then that's a different story. Another way to look at this is a human being. Average walking speed for the human being is about 5 miles per hour, almost 5 miles per hour. Okay. All right, so you're doing about 20% of the speed limit just by walking. I just found that interesting. And if you, for example, said, let me get a horse, let me just take it back to the old school and see what I can do there, then you'd be approaching those average rush hour speeds at about 10 miles per hour on a trot. Okay. But wait, there's more. And you might find this one really troubling.
Family of crosses on the side of a Fresno, California highway. A somber reminder of a horrific drunk driving crash which killed 2 adults and 7 children on New Year's Day 2021. It's the catalyst for the National Traffic Safety Board's push to equip all new cars with blood alcohol monitoring systems. The key is to stop drunk driving deaths.
Whether it is someone's family member who is lost or someone's friend or someone's acquaintance, it changes you and it alters you forever. And that's why this matters.
The Fresno crash hits close to home for Rana Abbas Taylor, because a drunk driver killed her sister, brother-in-law, nieces, and nephew in a drunk driving crash 3 years ago along I-75 in Kentucky. The driver's blood alcohol level was nearly 4 times the legal limit. Taylor has fought for alcohol monitoring equipment since. Does it make you any more optimistic that changes in cars could happen as soon as 2024?
Sorry, I got emotional before I responded to that. Optimistic is a very hard word for me to use, but yes, it makes me hopeful.
The most recent numbers from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration show more than 11,600 people died in alcohol-related crashes in 2020. That's 14% higher than 2019 and accounts for nearly a third of all U.S. traffic crashes. Companies working on alcohol monitoring equipment say breath technology could be available in cars by late 2024. Touch technology would follow 1 year later.
I think it could save a lot of lives, and I think it's the future.
I could definitely see it for people that have been arrested for drunk driving and making that a requirement for their car.
We asked visitors at the North American International Auto Show whether this kind of equipment is a good or bad idea.
I think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving intoxicated in the first place, so I don't see anything wrong with having a monitor in the car.
I think it's a little extra, but I'm sure people said that about seatbelts as well, and so those have been very helpful and reduced fatal injuries and car crashes.
I think anything that saves lives and keeps drunk drivers off the street is a good idea, but just let us know how much it's going to be and who's got to pay for it.
Just want to make sure that it's fair across the board, that it's not just for low-class cars, but also cars that cost money as well, because even though the cars may be more expensive, that doesn't mean no less a person is drinking and driving.
You may remember, last year's bipartisan infrastructure law requires automakers to install alcohol monitoring systems in all cars by 2026.
Okay, and here we are, 2026. This has been delayed and delayed. I personally am hopeful that it won't go anywhere, because you want to talk about a very intrusive policy. Now, look, like the overwhelming majority of Americans, I've never, ever been convicted of driving while intoxicated, driving under the influence, operating under the influence. In fact, I'm your designated driver. I'm very adamant about that. If people want to go out and drink, and I'm going with you, hey, you can do what you like. I am fine with a Coca-Cola or iced tea, and I'm fine driving. I don't have a problem with it. I am also an advocate for folk getting an Uber, okay, or taxi, leaving the car at home. If you plan to go out and drink, fine. And if you cannot do that and you're arrested, then of course the law has to take its place. And if they want to say, hey, we got to install this in your car to make sure you, someone who has been proven not to be able to control themselves where drinking and driving is concerned, we got to make sure you can't start that car unless you prove that you're clean, then that's one thing. But requiring it for every car, every new car, that's ridiculous. And look, anybody who is killed in a drunk driving accident, it's absolutely regrettable. Okay? Absolutely. Minding their own business, and here comes this idiot changing lives. I can definitely sympathize with that. But I think that it's an invasion of privacy, and it's an invasion of your freedoms to require people who would never even fathom doing something like that to have to submit to a breathalyzer. Now, the technology is called passive, so I guess it can tell without you blowing directly into something. I'm not sure about that, but this is just another example of how the left wants to get in that car with you and make you do their bidding, okay, in order to prove that, in this case, you haven't been drinking. Will this technology be installed on jet airplanes? Okay, cruise ships for the captain? I mean, where do you stop with this? So I just wanted to bring that to you and demonstrate how the left is always working to get in between you and your freedoms. Don't let them do it. However, if you like poverty, by all means, keep voting Democrat. I'm Tyrone Keys. I'll talk to you soon.